Hello, I'm Heneage Mitchell from Fact Asia, an independent consumer advocacy based in Hong Kong, not-for-profit corporation. It's been 3 years since the health, rights and choices of 275 million adult Indian tobacco users were trashed by a government more concerned with profits than people and more focused on scaremongering than science and more intent on harm than health. Since the Indian government imposed an illogical, unnecessary and harmful ban of safer alternative nicotine products such as vaping and snus, over 4 million Indian tobacco users have died from tobacco-related diseases. This appalling death toll will keep rising for as long as the Indian government refuses to engage with the science and ignores the evidence proving less harmful alternatives to conventional tobacco products are an effective and safe off-ramp for tobacco users. These products are much, much safer than conventional tobacco products and are proven to improve the health, quality of life and longevity of former tobacco users in every instance. The evidence simply does not support the position of the extremely well-funded and sophisticated anti-tobacco harm reduction lobby that has monopolized what passes for a debate in India. Their position is just wrong. So why has the government of India adopted such a draconian prohibitionist stance? Why have Indian tobacco users, adult Indian tobacco users, been consigned to an outdated, ineffective, counterfactual, illogical, irrational and discriminatory regulatory dead end that ensures their continued dependence on conventional tobacco products by denying them safer alternatives? The government, in effect, talks only to a small cadre of well-heeled tobacco control experts, most of whom are direct or indirect recipients of some of the millions of dollars billionaire philanthropists such as Mr. Bloomberg and Big Pharma have poured into India to successfully manipulate the government. These experts, these government consultants, are primed with a holier-than-thou moral outrage and the unshakable certainty that comes with eye-watering funding and a scripted prohibitionist agenda, coupled with a long career in tobacco control that predates the introduction of less harmful alternatives to conventional tobacco, a sector these experts have no experience of and no desire to embrace. So consequently, this handful of career experts have managed to compromise the regulatory processes, corrupted and ignored empirical evidence, and have now managed to get any scientific research into tobacco harm reduction by any Indian academic or institution banned under the law. We're banning science now. Hello. Yeah, you heard that right. Conducting any scientific research into tobacco harm reduction is now actually illegal in India. Look, from where I sit, these so-called government experts and advisors are wholly and fully responsible for the pain, misery, illness, and death that millions of adult Indian tobacco users and their families will now continue to suffer needlessly. To be clear, 275 million adult Indian tobacco users who might otherwise have switched to less harmful nicotine delivery systems and improved their health immeasurably are instead being misinformed by government health officials as to the safety and effectiveness of these products and are refused legal access to these life-saving alternatives to deadly tobacco. Let me just repeat, in the 3 years since the ban, over 4 million Indian tobacco users have died from tobacco-related diseases. This number, 4 million a year, well, over 3 years, will not decrease until and unless the Indian government starts paying attention to facts, evidence, truth, and the will of the people, and starts enacting sensible, reasonable, pragmatic, evidence-based, life-saving regulation to address the harms of tobacco use, which would necessarily include allowing the sale of vape devices and heat not burn tobacco, and particularly nicotine pouches such as snus, and just pure nicotine pouches, which are cheap and available, easy to make. But no, you can't have that. Take the poison instead. So yeah, look, is there any evidence, that any hope, that the Indian government will finally come to its senses and start reviewing evidence from countries such as Japan and the UK, where smoking rates are plummeting as tobacco users switch permanently to vaping or heat not burn and other less harmful alternatives? Is there any chance that the Indian government will finally start listening to actual tobacco harm reduction experts, scientists, and advocates, and consider that it may have made a mistake? Or are the funding and the awards and accolades from WHO and FCTC, the smug, we know what's best for you, expert opinions, more important than facts, evidence, science, reason, logic, rational debate, pragmatic regulation, and the health and rights of 275 million adult Indian tobacco users? I think we all know what the correct answer to that is, which begs the question, does the Indian government really, truly not understand that it has got this so completely wrong? Well, we are here to keep reminding them, and we will never stop pestering them until they realize that their job is to serve the people, not the profiteers, and to promote healthier choices for the electorate, not impose prohibitionist policies that simply serve the interests of a handful of mega wealthy philanthropists and the commercial agendas of multinational big pharma corporations. Nothing without us. Nothing about us without us. Thank you.